In a world where carbs are your enemy, you need one man to help you fight your battles. That man is Jimmy.
Combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
You believe the success of your ketogenic diet depends solely on how much weight loss it produces? Let's define success in another way. Eating low carb, moderate protein, high fat puts your body into a state of ketosis, bringing about healing from the inside out. The major benefits of going keto using real food include lowered blood sugar, decreased insulin, minimized inflammation, increased energy, the removal of hunger and cravings, falling triglyceride levels, raised HDL good cholesterol, and spontaneous periods of intermittent fasting. When all of this happens, the result has this happy side effect known as weight loss. Keto is not about temporary fleeting weight loss, it's about permanent life-sustaining health gains.
Simplified short-form keto videos found exclusively at ketowhiteboard.info. Watch it, share it, live it.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website, and here's how the show works. Go to Instagram first. That's where we start. Instagram Live, a couple times a day. We try to do this. So go follow me on Instagram, Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like Josh and Keto Mac and BS Bird, Just a Bit Unlikely, and so many more that are coming in right now. If you missed the live, Lindy, you didn't miss it. You're here. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. So definitely go follow me on Instagram. If you do miss the live or you missed the replay, it's all good. We got you covered. We throw all the past episodes up on YouTube. So go follow me on YouTube. Type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants. You'll find my show and you can subscribe to my channel. Since I started doing these Jimmy Rants in October, I want to say my subscribers has gone up at least a couple thousand. So go follow me on YouTube and you'll never, ever miss an episode of Jimmy Rants. Finally, we have the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast over on Apple Podcasts as well as Stitcher. All of these links, you guys, are at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants was inspired by a meme that was sent to me from my friend Keto.glow. You guys know Keto.glow is Brittany. So Brittany's been out there doing her thing. She's a keto advocate. She's a mom, so she gets to do all these really fun videos with screaming kids in the background. And Brittany sent me this meme. And I was like, okay, I so have to rant about this. So the meme was created by a keto, not just advocate, but a keto like coach. They charge for their services. They try to make you a fat adapted athlete, and they offer coaching services to that end. So this, but for all intents and purposes, is a pro keto person. You ready to hear what they put in the meme, you guys? It's going to blow you away. This is what the meme said. If you haven't reached your goal weight, or at least had a loss of 40 pounds over the past 6 months, then you're not doing keto. You're simply using keto as an excuse to overeat. Excuse to overeat. So this is the kind of stuff, you guys, that I think is such a cancer to the keto message. And I want to call them out here today on Jimmy Rant. And what I want to talk about here today is this. Keto fat shaming by so-called keto advocates needs to stop. And I see Brittany just got here. Brittany, I am addressing this craziness of this meme that got put out there. So thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I do not want to give them any credence by sharing the URL, but I went to the URL and it's a keto coaching service for trying to make people into fat adapted athletes, which I think is wonderful. But no, I am sorry. You are not going to fat shame people by saying if you haven't reached your goal weight, whatever that means. What if my goal weight, what if I'm at my goal weight now? Would you judge me because, well, you're not, obviously not at your goal weight? Or at least had a loss of 40 pounds. What about, I used to be 410 pounds and now I'm not anywhere close to that and I've lost well over 40 pounds in that context. What do you do then? I just think this opens up people to be criticized unfairly. And plus, they assume that the only reason that people go keto is to lose weight. To me, weight loss, and I will scream this till I'm blue in the face, but weight loss is probably one of the least interesting reasons to go keto. All the health benefits are the reason so many of us decided to go keto. So if you're just joining us, there is a meme floating around out there on Instagram that, thanks to my friend Brittany, keto.glow, definitely go follow Brittany. But she brought this to my attention yesterday, and I said, oh, I'm so going to Jimmy Rants this one. But the meme said, if you haven't reached your goal weight or at least had a loss of 40 pounds over the past 6 months, you're not doing keto. You're using keto as an excuse to overeat. So this whole idea that if you're not, quote, losing weight, you're not doing keto. I'm sorry. Shut up. Just shut up. I'm so sick and tired of the people who try to pretend to be on their high and mighty high horse and pretend to tell us all how easy it is when you just go keto and you just do it the right way and you don't overeat calories and you just do this and just do that and everything falls into line. It must be amazing to live in your little perfect dream world. Tell us what it's like in utopia, because out here in the real world, there are some people where it's a lot more challenging. And I think putting a meme out there that says if you haven't reached your goal weight or at least had a loss of 40 pounds over the past 6 months, you're not doing keto, you are disrespecting people and the hard work that they're putting in. Because I know a lot of really great people that are trying very hard doing a ketogenic diet in a well-formulated way. They're minimizing their carbs, they're moderating their protein, they're eating plenty of healthy fats, they're choosing real whole foods, they're engaging in periods of intermittent fasting, they're doing various kind of biohacks to try to help heal their body. But some of us have more issues to work through than others. And I think that's where the kindness piece comes in. That's where the compassionate piece comes in. That's where we realize we are so bio-individual that it's kind of silly to think that everybody who does exactly the same modality would get the same return on what they're doing. It doesn't work that way. And this kind of stuff really angers me. So Brittany, thank you again for sending this to me, because I think this is the kind of thing that will destroy from the inside the whole keto movement. Because if you get people writing memes like that out there on Instagram and some newbie comes in, they think the expectation level is, well, I've got 6 months to lose 40 pounds. Or I've got a boogie on whatever it is my goal is in my weight, or I'm not doing it right. What's wrong with me? And to me, that's sickening. There's a lot of people that are doing keto for no purposes of weight loss at all. So how do they reconcile that? If you haven't lost 40 pounds in 6 months, you're not doing keto. What if somebody didn't need to lose weight? What if their reason for going keto was the brain health benefits? What if their reason for going keto was some chronic disease? What if they have a glycolytically demanding tumor in their brain and they've decided to go keto to help deal with that? Are you going to shame these people that they're not doing keto correctly because they haven't lost any weight? This is disgusting to me. Incredibly so. We call this show Jimmy Rants for a reason, and you're getting full-on rant mode today. If you haven't lost 40 pounds over the past 6 months, you're not doing keto. You are using keto as an excuse to overeat. Hello to this group that's putting this out here. Keto is not an excuse to overeat ever. I wrote the very first book about keto called Keto Clarity 5 years ago. And in that book, we made it extraordinarily clear. It's low carb to your tolerance level, moderate protein to your personal threshold of protein, enough dietary fat to satiety with mostly real whole foods. So it's that last part, mostly real whole foods with fat to satiety. Nowhere in there does it talk about, quote, overeating. And plus, what does that mean, overeat? I've had people look at some of my keto carnivore plates that I posted. It would be the only meal I eat the whole day. And they're like, oh my gosh, look at all that food. No wonder you're so freaking obese, blah, blah, blah. And all I have to say is, mind your own business. Because if that's all I eat the whole day, I don't want to undereat. Undereating is no bueno. So you want to eat enough calories. And if I only eat one meal a day, as it turns out on most days, I end up eating one meal a day. What's it anybody's business that I had 4 hamburgers with cheese and bacon? That's all I ate the whole day. That's not overeating. I'd say it's perfect eating. And yet that's where we are. That's where we are. And we're fighting this battle. Today I got about 6 different social media comments that I had to block, because they were all saying things about, it's obvious this guy overeats. It's obvious he's not losing weight, so he's not really on keto. He's sneaking donuts, all this kind of stuff, guys. I have to deal with major psychological warfare on a daily basis. I mean, it inundates me some days. And until you get that kind of stuff, you can't really understand. And now you see why I get so angered at this kind of thing. I do. If you haven't reached your goal weight of at least a loss of 40 pounds over the past 6 months, you're not doing keto. I don't know what to do with these people other than, when people see this kind of stuff, don't allow that to take a foothold. This does nothing positive in the keto community. This only shames people. And I am sick of the fat shaming in the keto world, and even more so by the fat shaming done by people in the keto world. Because this meme was created and is posted, and you go to the link. I'm not sharing that link. I'm not giving him any free publicity. But in the link, I went and looked. It's a fat-adapted athlete website where they're offering coaching services for a price. And so they're keto advocates. They want people to become fat-adapted and ostensibly be healthy and fit and be able to perform and exercise performance. Why are you dissing another keto person? What is the deal with this issue of fat shaming people? It's got to stop. And I, for one, am so glad I still deal with weight. I'm so glad I still have it on my body, because I can speak up for every single one of those people, because I say, bring it. Bring it at me. I ain't backing down, because there's too many people out there that are doing all the right things, and they're sick of your judgment and scorn. And I, for one, will be their voice. And I won't put up with it. I won't. It's high time all of us that care about this message of keto, we get on the bandwagon of love, kindness, compassion, respecting the bioindividuality of others. Because if we don't, then you're going to allow this kind of nonsense from this meme that's out there on the internet to become the norm. And then when people see that and nobody responds to it saying that that's not right, when people see that, they're like, well, I guess we need to judge other people. Oh, what's wrong with you over there? Why haven't you lost your 40 pounds in 6 months? You're not doing keto. You're just overeating calories and blah, 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 blah. Stop the madness. Let's end it now. And I, for one, double dog dare them to try to shut me up about this. And yes, I get a lot of arrows. Yes, I hear from those people every single day. Yes, I love blocking and deleting them from my social media pages because they're relentless. But the fact is, anybody that's doing a low-carb, moderate protein, high-fat ketogenic diet is taking a step in the right direction for their health. And we should be celebrating people doing that. Now, obviously, if somebody gets stuck and they want help and they want to hire somebody like this group or others to give them counseling, great. But I think calling people out and saying, well, you're not really doing keto if you haven't lost 40 pounds in 6 months. Come on. Come on. We are better than that. You will never hear me judge another keto person because of whatever expectation level I might have in my head of what they should be doing. To me, if you're doing keto and you're doing all the right things to try to get your body into the best health it can be, I feel like I've done my job. If I've inspired you to start eating this way because you read my book, Keto Clarity, or you watched me on Jimmy Rants, or you listened to me on my podcast, wherever you access the information, and you've been inspired to take a step in the right direction towards health, that should be celebrated. The whole movement of being ugly towards people and shaming them for not meeting your unreasonable expectations of what they should be doing is just plain wrong. And I, for one, am not going to take it anymore. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you hanging out with me here on Jimmy Rants. Snoochie229 says, I just watched my local news, says low-carb diets are not good, could cause AFib with the heart. Snoochie, you're in luck. I did a whole Jimmy Rants all about that several days ago when that actually was in the news. You're probably just seeing the reverberation of that, but go look it up on YouTube. Type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants, you'll find my channel. And yeah, it was about 6 episodes ago we did that one all about the AFib story. It ain't what you think it is, so go check it out. It's also on the Jimmy Rants podcast. I saw it's the latest episode of the Jimmy Rants podcast, so go check it out. How dare they, says Brett. Yeah, they do this. Keto Stoner says, I saw it too. Yeah, it's out there. But what we do with it as keto advocates, people in the keto community, what do we do with this kind of stuff? I call them out on Jimmy Rants. But what do we do? I think we share the opposite message. Let me look at it one more time. They say if you haven't reached your goal weight or at least had a loss of 40 pounds over the past 6 months, you're not doing keto. I say if you haven't reached your goal weight, then don't have a goal weight. Have a health goal. So set your goal to make your triglycerides under 100. And guess what? You can do that within 6 months. Set your goal to lower your blood sugar levels. That can happen in 6 months. Set a goal to increase your HDL cholesterol. That's a goal that could be hit in 6 months. Set a goal to lower your A1C level, which is a sign of health getting better. That can happen in 6 months. See where I'm going here, you guys? So rather than making it a goal weight, make it a health goal. And if your body's getting healthier from the inside, then guess what? Eventually, the weight will come down too. I'm going to hammer this whole weight thing because it's just disgusting. Because this is fat shaming. That's pure and simple what it is. Fat shaming. And this whole idea of if you haven't lost weight, it's an excuse to overeat. We got to get over this calories thing too. Calories is nonsense. Do calories count? Obviously, you don't want to gorge yourself on calories, but it's not the calorie response that you need to be paying attention to. It's the hormonal response. And if you're eating foods to satiety, which once you get into a full-on fat-adapted, keto-adapted state, listening to satiety is pretty darn simple. And this idea that you can overeat on keto if you're listening to satiety, it's impossible. Now, can you blow by satiety? Obviously, and a lot of people have, partly because they still allow in foods that might stoke that craving to want to eat more. And those hormones get kicked in that makes them want to eat more. But if you're listening to satiety signals, one thing that's really helped me is doing this keto carnivore. It's taken out all those kind of extra things that could be stoking that, and it's just meat and animal foods. Well, in that context, it's extraordinarily hard to overeat if you are listening to satiety. And the ironic thing is I'm still getting all these comments, even though I'm actively losing fat. So it's like, what more do I need to do? Do I need to lose 100 pounds by tomorrow to convince these people that something good is happening? I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I'm just doing it and living it. Everybody's different. Everybody's diet's going to be different. People who shame you for that stuff should look at their own stuff. Well, Sam, I agree. But unfortunately, in this day and age, it's a national pastime to mock and scorn others that you deem as objectionable for whatever the reason. Keto's a way of life, not a diet, says B.S. Bird. Yeah. And if you use it as a way of life, you're not worried about fleeting weight loss here today, gone tomorrow. You're looking at the big picture, the long game. What's happening? How many more years am I adding to the back end of my life with the actions that I'm taking today? Does losing weight perhaps help with that? Sure. But is it the be-all, end-all that if I don't lose weight within 6 months, I'm a failure or I'm doing keto wrong? To me, that's judgmental. And it's just another reason to pile on with the fat shaming. And I won't take that. Carnivore Kezi, woohoo, I caught you live. Well, welcome, Kezi. I'm glad that you were able to see a live episode of Jimmy Rants. Alberto says that keto expert definitely does not understand physiology and biology. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think he cares. He's probably one of those, hey, bruh, jocks that's, been skinny and fit his whole life. And he doesn't understand what it's like to be obese and doesn't understand some of the psychological things that go on along with the physiological things that go on. There's so many moving parts to this that failing to recognize it on his part and making some idiotic meme like this does no good. Weight loss is just a byproduct of keto, Tel Burkhart says. I wouldn't even say it's a byproduct of keto always. It's certainly a side effect that if you do it and heal the body from the inside, eventually it becomes this thing that happens. But it's not the primary reason why you go keto. I often have people write to me and they're like, oh, I'm trying to lose 50 pounds on keto and I haven't lost a single pound and everybody else has talked about losing a pound a day. What's wrong with me? And I'm like, it's not about weight loss. That always confounds them when I respond that way. Keto is not about weight loss. Keto is about shifting the way the body works. You're now no longer a sugar burner. You're a fat burner. And in the context of being a fat burner, you should start burning stored body fat. But for some people, you got to heal parts of the body first, and then the fat burning commences. But people just hear keto and fat burning and pound a day and blah, 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 and they just have that really lofty expectation with keto, unlike probably most diets out there. And I think we have to get out of that mentality. It's why I tell people one of the best things you can do when you go keto is to take a huge sledgehammer to your bathroom scale. because it's going to do more to discourage you than anything else you can do. Right now in this keto carnivore, I'm hardly stepping on the scale at all, but I'm noticing my shirts are getting a whole lot looser and I feel really good. I can tell that I have lost fat and I don't need a scale to tell me that. And I think the sooner we get away from that scale weight and we ignore these memes from these idiot people, that all their purpose in doing that is fat shaming, the sooner we get away from that, the sooner we can see keto continue to grow and expand and help more people. Nobody wants to come into a community where you have 6 months, you're under the gun, 6 months, you better lose 40 pounds or you failed on keto. That's unacceptable to me. Unacceptable to me. We should be welcoming with wide open arms that people give a crap, perhaps for the first time in their entire lives, about what they're putting in their mouth for the purposes of their health. If you'd have told 410-pound Jimmy Moore, you must lose X amount of weight within a certain amount of time, I would have probably given you the middle finger, because it's like, who are you? Why do I care what you think? I don't. And I wouldn't have done the diet. To me, that's the biggest travesty. Brittany says, me and my husband about came unglued when we saw it. I bust my butt on keto, but I for sure haven't lost that fast. My body is damaged from years of yo-yo diets and baby carrying. It takes time. Plus, Brittany, here's the thing. They wanted you to lose 40 pounds in 6 months. Where did we come up with 40 pounds in 6 months? What if somebody starts at 700 pounds? If they lose 40 pounds in 6 months, they probably can do it. What if someone starts at 150 pounds? If you're a woman at 150 pounds and you want to be 110, what if you don't reach that 40 pounds in 6 months? Are you any less of a success by not hitting your goal than that 700-pound man that loses easily 40 pounds in 6 months? It just doesn't make any sense. It's so arbitrary. So in that context, this doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think it's very good advice. And plus the connotation of shaming you if you don't reach this goal. And on top of that, accusing you of somehow not doing keto correctly, and you're probably just a fatty overeating on food. You need to stop overeating on keto food, you fatty. This is personal, you guys. I am so sick of this kind of thing, and it's a mentality that I'm not seeing go away. And I will continue to call them out here on Jimmy Rants. Snoochie says it doesn't look like they want people healthy at all. I don't know what the end game is. The end game to me is nothing positive. You get a lot more positive response when you encourage people and you give them mini goals along the way to the big goal. Telling people that you're a failure on keto if after 6 months you haven't lost 40 pounds is a bunch of bull. So let's stop that. It's horrible. And he's a coach nonetheless, says Brittany. Exactly. That's the thing. This person is coaching people on keto, and God bless you if you've hired this person as your coach. I hope you like judgment. I hope you like scorn. I hope you like fat shaming. This person's a huge idiot is what he is. And I'm not ashamed to say it in that many words. You're a friggin' idiot, dude. Because you're doing nothing good as a keto advocate by beating up on and fat shaming other keto people. It's wrong. It's wrong at every level. And I so bad want to call him out by name, but I don't want to give him a free ad. I don't want to give him any free advertisement. But you know who you are. I'm watching you. C-Doc says ketogenic lifestyle process begins with reparative process to heal one's metabolism from years of carbohydrate toxicity. This happens before the weight loss happens. Everyone is so unique, so embrace it. Thank you for that, C-Doc. Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes the needle doesn't move on the weight for a long time for people. And I don't understand this obsession about, well, you start eating keto and next week you're supposed to be down 50 pounds. It's stupid. I used to weigh 410 pounds. I am way down 40 pounds plus. Way down from that top weight. So in this context, does that mean I'm doing good keto to this guy? This same guy would probably judge me because of the weight I still have on the body. And what do you do with someone who's been successful and is down from that? And, oh yeah, by the way, changed lots of eating habits that's no longer addicted to sugar, optimal brain health, many hours between meals, of being able to intermittent fast, so many other benefits. Do you just throw the baby out with the bathwater by ignoring all those other benefits that happen when you go keto and you're not, quote, losing weight? Does all that other stuff just not matter at all? I think it matters a lot. Your body tells you when you have had reached your ideal weight. If you had no weight to lose, it is just the healthy way to eat. Exactly. Tell Burkhart, I tell people often, if I never lost another pound, I would do it to get the sharp brain that I have now and the calm mood. Jimmy Rants notwithstanding sometimes. Keto does that for me. Having those ketones fuel my brain does that for me. Even in the midst of still trying to produce fat loss, especially in the midsection of my body, I have such benefits that come from keto that would be the only reason I would ever do it for the rest of my life, if that was the only benefit I got. Many confuse satiety with overeating. No bueno. Yeah, Alberto, and I realize for a lot of people, satiety signals are hard to hear. And so if they're hard to hear when you're a sugar burner, they start to come into louder view, so to speak, as you become more keto adapted, as your body becomes more in tune with basically being fueled the way it was intended to be fueled. And so it gets better. But it can only happen if you do keto and you're patient with keto and you don't listen to stupid people like this guy that created this meme. Bridget said, that's sad that people think you're sneaking donuts, because if you were sneaking donuts, your brain would not be as sharp as it is. I can tell you have a very sharp brain. Yeah, sometimes, Bridget, I'm in very long periods of fasting when I'm doing these Jimmy Rants. Because I like the way that feels. I like the sharpness that having ketones in the brain gives me. And anybody that thinks I'm sneaking donuts, I'm not talking like that, because my brain's on fire thanks to the ketones. I don't know what to tell people like this person. If you think I'm failing on my keto, I'm not doing keto, I'm using it as an excuse to overeat food, then how do you explain all the other benefits that come from keto? And I'm not the only one. I'm just using myself since I'm the only one here talking to you guys right now. There's a lot of people that are getting incredible benefits from keto, but then some turdball like this comes along and discourages them, and they negate all of those good things that have happened to them, all at the altar of, because I didn't lose weight, I failed on keto. That has to stop. Brittany says, people don't understand satiety. It's not feeling so full that you feel sick. Yeah, in Keto Clarity, we actually describe eating to satiety in the same way that they teach the kids in Asian countries. They teach them to eat to 80%. So if you eat to 80%, obviously it's arbitrary. There's no way of knowing exactly what percentage you've eaten to. But what it is you've eaten enough, but not to the point that you're stuffing yourself. So 80% makes you stop probably before you get to that point of feeling stuffed. So it's all out there. This is all elementary. It's all in the keto community. Before there was a keto community, I wrote Keto Clarity 6 years ago, and we were putting this in there then when there was no keto community. So this high horse guy writing all this nonsense in a meme, Just go back and read my book, dude. I put it all right there about what you need to do to be successful on keto. Ashton says we are all on our own journey and have to do what's best for our bodies. We shouldn't judge one person's journey with our own hashtag no keto police. Yeah, I'm a little bit over people's judgmentalness, and I'm feeling more and more compelled the more I see this kind of thing to call them out, and then to be an encourager to those people that are falling for this kind of meme. If that's you, if you saw this meme that I'm talking about, can I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing in your keto? Because your body is healing. It's healing. It may be healing slow, and we all like things to be microwave fast. I get it. We all do. We'd all love to lose 50 pounds or 40 pounds in 6 months. We'd all love to do that. Maybe it's not in the cards for you. Maybe it's going to take a year, couple years, but be patient. Get all the benefits and celebrate all those good things that happen all along the way. This is where people get bogged down and get frustrated, and they give up on keto, and they give up at the very moment they're getting incredible benefits. That is what saddens me the most, because it's those kind of memes, you guys, that people think they're doing pretty well. Then they read a meme like that and go, well, oh no, I guess I'm overeating. So then they arbitrarily start cutting back, and it almost invariably cuts back on fat. Then they start getting hungry. Then they start getting cravings back again. Then they binge on carbs. Then they go, oh no, I guess I just was a failure. I don't like it. I mean, that's the kind of thing that is so frustrating to someone like myself who tries to encourage and educate people, and then one meme tears that all down. Tears it all down. I bet you're looking forward to your sabbatical. See, Doc, you have no idea. Yes. Jay Cardew, it's irrelevant what other people think. Yeah, but the problem is I speak out for those people who do unfortunately care about what other people think. And those people are who I care about. Not the people doing these silly memes and being the fat shamers. It's the people on the other end of that are feeling the brunt of that. Those are my people. Those are the people that I speak for. Those are the people I have a heart for. They're the reason why I get up in the morning at 4 o'clock and I hit the ground running, because I want to encourage and love on them. They're getting too much negativity in their lives. They need someone that's an advocate for them. And we're going to keep doing that. Carnivore Kezi says, I'm keto for 3 years, and a lot of hashtags of all the good things that's happened for her. And she says at the end, no weight loss. No weight loss, but she's free of anxiety, depression, insomnia, asthma, appetite, out of control, brain fog, self-loathing, fibromyalgia, and mood swings. Oh, but Kezi, you've been a huge failure. Keto has failed you so bad. That's what they would say. Thank you for being our voice. I love everything you do. Thank you, Deborah. I will continue to do that. Brittany, I'm 10 pounds from my goal, but who freaking cares? I'll get there when I get there. Keto changed my life, and the scale in this person does not define me. Exactly. Alberto, he must be someone who recently discovered keto, but he still believes calorie counting for keto, calories in to calories out. Yeah, Alberto, that is part of the occupational hazard of keto these days. Is just because someone uses the K word doesn't mean that they've been in this for a while. I've literally been talking about keto since 2005. Low carb, obviously, then ketogenic through the context of Atkins, which was how I originally lost weight. 2011, 12 was about the time I was really studying keto and testing it. And 2013, I started writing on Keto Clarity. 2014, Keto Clarity came out, and I've been off to the races really deep into keto ever since then. But yeah, there's so many people that have come along the last year or two, these Johnny-come-lately keto experts. that I have no respect for. I don't. Where were you? If you're such a keto expert, where were you? Where does this mentality come from? Let's call it ketorexia, says Brett. Definitely the whole keto perfectionism you could call ketorexia. And this whole notion that you must reach some arbitrary weight loss goal of 40 pounds over an arbitrary period of time, like 6 months. And if you don't do it, you're not doing keto correctly. I would never put limitations on people like that. Plus, like I said earlier, 700-pound man, 150-pound woman, we're going to give them the same 40-pound goal over 6 months? That's unreasonable. This just doesn't even pass the logic test. Bridget says, I still have lots of fat on my body, probably 30%. Keto 1 year, not everyone just drops all the fat at once. Yeah, it's a challenge. And you ignore all of the various facets that are totally non-diet related that can impact your weight. There's a lot of people that have hormonal imbalances that until you get those things in check, you can try the best you can and you will not lose weight. There's people who are under immense stress in their lives, either with a family situation, a financial difficulty, an overbearing boss, some incident, a death in the family, some incident in your life has created such stress that your cortisol is chronically high almost all the time. In that context, you could eat the best grass-fed beef, organic vegetables you can in the entire world through all the perfect macronutrients, and you're not going to lose weight. And the sooner we understand this weight issue is so much more than just diet, is when we'll start to have more compassion, and these kind of memes from these idiotic people like this one I'm talking about here today will be stupid. Because everybody will recognize as, well, where's this coming from? This makes no sense. Ute says, how a person looks does not reflect anything about who they are or how they feel. Keto rocks no matter where you are in your journey. That's the thing, Ute. I keep telling people I feel utterly fantastic. I have more energy than probably most people you've met. I would run circles around most people with the energy that I have. And I'm always thinking, this is going to be the hard part, you guys, when I'm off for 6 months starting in September. How do I shut off this brain? Because I'm always thinking of new ideas. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and maybe see where my brain goes when I don't have the day-to-day of thinking about stuff. What do I think about? Because I'm going to think about something. It's going to be really interesting. I've only lost 18 pounds in a year, but I'm too smart to focus on scale weight. Many other benefits to keto. I no longer fall asleep at the wheel. Hey, that's a huge one. I'm listening to my body, and if someone wants to judge me, what works for me, keep your stupid opinion to yourself, says Ashton. See, you need to start Ashton Rants. I love that. That's a good vibe. Alberto, you are burning ketones, but not doing keto. I bet he doesn't even know what a beta-hydroxybutyrate is, as weird as that sounds. No, it doesn't sound weird at all. Keto has become a buzzword. I think most of the people that have come along, Johnny come lately, the past year or two, they don't know jack about keto. I'll tell you where this really got underscored was when I started talking with some of these multi-level marketing companies that promote exogenous ketones. You start asking them basic questions about a ketogenic diet, and they don't know. They have no clue. They don't care. They're just in it for the money. Alberto says he thinks keto is only a food diet protocol. Right. Why is there all this emphasis on weight? It's just a number on a scale. My goal was to feel better, and I'm achieving it, Ute. Probably because in our culture, we've had that hammered into us that it's all about the weight. And if the weight's not coming off, well, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with the diet. You need to change this, change that, lower calories, lower fat. That's where it comes from. Fit Keto Mom says, I haven't seen this meme, but I could just about guess who it was that posted that, shaking my head. Yeah, there's several people out there that are of this vein. And like I said at the beginning of this Jimmy Rants, I get a lot of kind of negativity thrown. And today alone, I had about 7 different comments posted on various social media pages that made comments about me and my weight and how I'm overeating and blah, blah, blah. Why don't I do something? Even though I've lost 28 pounds since the beginning of the year. Melissa says, I caught you live. Well, welcome, Melissa. I'm glad you're here. I love these rants. It supercharges my beta-hydroxybutyrate. Alberto, my cortisol probably goes up doing these Jimmy rants, so that's no bueno for my BHB levels. I see a difference in your face, much slimmer. Thank you, Kim. I haven't experienced the weight loss that others have, but my digestion, my sleep, and my skin issues have all improved, so that's more important to me than the weight. And Carmen, you're going to see those kind of things continue. For me doing this keto carnivore, the big thing has been like how my skin has gotten so clear. I used to get really bad breakouts. I still get a little bit on my nose, but I used to get really bad breakouts on my face. And that stays pretty smooth all the time now. Until you've walked in someone else's shoes, never judge or shame. That's right, Downtown Vapors. Heck, some people and keto groups want you to lose 40 pounds in 6 weeks. It can really get depressing. Well, Sharon, if there are keto groups that are saying that kind of thing, you need to leave and leave fast and encourage as many people to get the heck out of that group as fast as possible, because that's doing nothing positive for them. Yo-yo diet damage is a big lie. Don't believe it, says Chef B. Okay. Some people do damage their bodies, though, B. You didn't gain weight overnight. It's not going to come off overnight. Exactly, Ashton. We should start tagging them, hashtag keto scam. Okay, Alberto, we'll do that. Anytime you see a meme that is as stupid as the one I've described here today, just go on there and go, hashtag keto scam. Sounds like a keto Jillian Michaels, says Low Carb New Yorker. Well, the problem is Jillian Michaels is unabashedly anti-keto. This person claims to be in favor of keto. That's what makes me mad. And that's why keto fat shaming by so-called keto advocates needs to stop. This particular example is just but one of many that I've seen out there. I've only lost 15 pounds since July, but I'm now repairing, or I know I'm repairing my body. My body has changed dramatically, Katrina. Yeah, and it will. And it will. And what about when you show no weight loss on the scale, but you lose like 4 inches in a period of like 2 months? No weight loss, but you lose 2 inches. Did you lose no weight? That's what I would want to ask this person that made this meme. If you lost 2 inches off of your waist in 2 months, but you had no weight loss on the scale, did that person lose weight? The obvious answer is yes. But if it's only about 40 pounds in 6 months, those 2 months where you had no scale weight loss, you didn't lose any weight, even though you lost 2 inches off your waist. Just doesn't pass the smell test, guys. Liz says, man, I'd choose keto all the time to not be hangry. That's another one. I talk about the brain health issues, but able to not be hungry and able to go long periods of time between meals. And honestly, you guys, those of us that are heavily keto adapted, not thinking about food at all, it's so freeing. I can tell you're running on ketones, not donuts, says Bridget. Melissa says, yes, I'm going through daily depression. Keto is helping me get through this rough time. Well, hang in there, Melissa. It will definitely help you. Val says, a friend of mine new to keto had people in a group tell her this, told her to leave the group. Oh my gosh, Val. Well, she's better off leaving the group. Tell her to come on over to Jimmy Rants. We will encourage, uplift, and inspire her. I promise you. This kind of stuff, you guys, it gets to me. But here's the thing. It's always going to be there. You're always going to have the judgmental people. You're always going to have stupid people saying stupid stuff. So in that context, those of us that are trying to actually help people, we have to be all the more vigilant in pointing them to the people and the resources that are actually going to help them reach their goal. Dory says, successful is in the eye of the beholder. It doesn't mean weight loss. Exactly. Unfortunately, Dory, to this person, and if you missed the beginning of this Jimmy Rants, this person created this whole meme that said, if you don't lose 40 pounds within 6 months, you have failed on keto because you overeat calories. And I think it's just such the wrong message when, yeah, as you duly noted, success can be defined in a variety of ways well beyond weight loss. I haven't seen this meme says just a bit unlikely, but I definitely needed to hear this today. Well, I'm glad it inspired you. And see, that's the thing. Yes, I rant on Jimmy Rants. That's kind of what I do, what I like to do. But I always try to leave you guys with a positive, uplifting, and encouraging message. What positivity do you get out of a meme like the one I described today? Is there anything uplifting about it? Is there anything that's going to help you, encourage you to keep going on your keto? To me, that does more to discourage you, and you will always, always, always hear out of my mouth uplifting, encouraging words. That's just kind of who and what I am. Brett says, I'd much rather see people overeat real, whole, natural foods than to continue to eat poison. And they do every single day, don't they? Thanks for being there for us, Jimmy. Thank you, Jay Cardew. Traveling Keto Cat, hadn't seen you in a while. Welcome. I'm going live tonight to talk about sugar shaming. I overheard some horrible stuff this weekend from someone on their keto high horse. Well, Traveling Keto Cat, you go get 'em. Cannot wait to see what you have to say. Gerald says, sometimes I get discouraged by not weight loss on the scale, but I understand how I feel great and have low hunger. I enjoy the food too. I'm just glad I'm not 400 pounds. I often say this on various podcasts, but I'm happy I'm not dead. It's so morbid to say that out loud, but I'm happy I'm not dead. I would probably be dead today and or have had a heart attack that would have greatly weakened my body had I not gone keto. And that's my why. We all have our why as to what we're doing and why we're doing it. And if someone else wants to define my why as you need to have lost X amount of weight in X amount of time, screw you! My why is I'm not dead. I'm not. Dead man can't do a rant anyway, so. I'm against that view. Everybody lose weight with low calorie. Okay. Well, B, you're having a great time chiming in tonight. And we will go ahead and do that right there. Take hikes in the mountains while on sabbatical. Very good for lowering cortisol. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of kind of nature things, CDOC, while I'm away. That's for sure. Katrina says, I've lost 6 inches off my hips, 4.5 off my waist. Yep. And those things matter. Having the brand new belt and already on the second notch of the brand new belt was pretty darn cool this past week as well. It's the little things, guys. Celebrate them. Much more so than the weight loss. Sherry says, it has taken me 2 full years to lose 45 pounds. I'm trying to maintain it now with my Hashimoto's and also being postmenopausal. My weight loss has been very slow. Sherry, I feel your pain. My mom, who I've talked about before, she went keto a couple years ago and was doing really well, lost something like 40-something pounds. But because she's on a very high dose of steroid for this condition called myasthenia gravis, she got bit by a bug, and then the bug gave her meningitis, and then this meningitis turned into this myasthenia gravis. Really horrible, horrible thing. It kind of mimics the effects of a stroke where the whole side of your body just starts to droop. Well, she got on very high dose steroid to deal with the symptoms of this myasthenia gravis. Well, you guys know if you take a high dose steroid, and it's the highest dose they're allowed to give people, it makes it extraordinarily difficult to lose weight. And yet she was losing weight with keto, but then at some point it did start to level off. And when the level off happened, she got discouraged. And eventually she got off of it. She's back on it now, but man, this whole weight thing plays such mind games with us that if we see a meme that fat shames you because you didn't lose keto or you lose weight fast enough on keto, oh, it's your fault, you overate calories. that does nothing positive for people like you, Sherry, or my mom, or anybody else that struggles. So hang in there. Hang in there. Waistline decrease is huge. Congrats. Thank you, C-Doc. That was one of my hopes when I started the Keto Carnivore, is that I could start to remove some of that fat around the midsection of my body, which was the primary place where I have it. And I realized that's where all the organs are. So getting rid of that fat on my body was my priority with this. I'm not going to hurry along the process. We're just going to keep doing the things that are making that happen now. So guys, the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is keto fat shaming by so-called keto advocates has got to stop. It's not cool, you guys. And if you guys see it out there, you see people that are putting up these memes, oh, you must lose 40 pounds in 6 months, or you failed, or you overeat, and something's wrong with you. We have to call them out, which is what I've done here today on this Jimmy Rants, and not allow that. And if nothing else, we need to counter it with such love, kindness, compassion, respect. I know I hammer these things a lot on my Jimmy Rants, but I do it because it's that important, you guys. And if you see negativity start to pile on, I want to pile on love, respect, kindness. Let's just flood the internet with that kind of message. All of social media needs that kind of message. People are getting the negative in droves. Let's make it awash with the love, the kindness, the compassion, the respect. That's what we would want in that situation, and therefore that's what we should do for all of those people. That's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, you can engage in the content live, just like all of these people did here today. Definitely go check it out on Instagram. I'm Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live. And you can also watch it for up to 24 hours on Instagram, so go follow it there. Keto Mac says, it is the likes of this meme and frustration that it generates. It is stuff like this that's driving your sabbatical. Yes and no. It's this kind of stuff, Mac, that makes it hard for someone in my position who's been at this for so long. It's so discouraging. There was no keto community, 5-6 years ago. And now there is one. And within this community that is beautiful and full of amazing people, you got turd balls like this that are seeking to be the kryptonite to what could be the most amazing thing that could happen to people. So I suppose, but it also is an argument for me not going away, because somebody's got to respond to this kind of nonsense. Now, there's lots of other people out there that could respond, but I'm glad I got to respond to this one today. And I love you too, Dory. Thank you for being here. After 24 hours, it does disappear from Instagram, so go follow me on YouTube. Type in a keyword Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. 240-something episodes and counting, you guys, over on YouTube. Jimmy Rants keyword search either on YouTube or on Google. Finally, we have the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. All of these links, you guys, are at JimmyRants.com. So until next time, we'll see you then.